Was Gebran Basil speaking to me earlier. Well, let's get some perspective here. What happens next in Lebanon? When will we discover what happened at the port and why? Why that massive haul of ammonium nitrate was being kept there? And where are Lebanese politics headed next? Well, we are joined now by Baha Hariri, who is a member of one of Lebanon's most prominent families, both the son and brother of past prime ministers. And we'll talk about your political aspirations a little later. But I know that you have called for an international investigation, sir, into the explosion that has caused such devastation. Why?
First, I would like to give my deepest condolences to the families who lost their loved ones, Becky, and also my colleagues.
Of course.
It is very important to me because luckily my colleagues were saved from this horrific event. But at the same time, it is unfortunate to realize that some of their members may not make it. Having said that, where do we go from here? We have to make sure that we have an international independent investigation team that come immediately to Lebanon and investigate the horrific accident. And there is a question that comes out on my mind. Is there any other spots that needs to be investigated? The second is this symbiotic relation between Hezbollah and these warlords who have taken us from a good situation to the abyss today, and then look what happened in Beirut. This regime must go. And finally, we all know who controlled the port. These combustible materials, they were there for over 6 years. 6 years, Becky. So Hezbollah has answers. We know who controlled the port. Hezbollah controlled the port, and there are serious questions that must be answered.
Well, the president has just tweeted about the possibility of an international investigation, and he's called it a waste of time. Your response? Certainly, sorry, sir, and he goes on to say it would be a waste of time given that past investigations, and let's include that of your father was killed in 2005, a judgment for which was only due this week. So he says these investigations take way too long and are a waste of time. Sorry, your response.
Becky, we know the international system. There is a big difference between an expedited investigation and a jury that comes and that investigates the murder of Rafiq Hariri. Once we have people on the ground, I'm not saying it will take days, but I'm pretty sure such type of investigations that we've seen before, it takes months and it's expedited, and hopefully it should be under the United Nations. As for the other type of investigation, yes, I believe fully in the international justice system that started within the Nuremberg and then the Tokyo trial and then the Hague trial that brought people to justice. This is something I truly believe in, and this is something we need to truly differentiate.
Sir, as you and I have been speaking, Hassan Nasrallah, the head or the chief of Hezbollah, has been speaking, and my producers have been monitoring what he has been saying. And so I must put this to you because you have pointed the finger of blame at Hezbollah. On those claims that Hezbollah is responsible for what happened at the port. His chief said, and I just want to quote this to you, "I would like to reiterate absolute denial that there isn't anything, no rifle, no bomb, no bullet, no rocket, nothing at all, no storage or otherwise, not now or ever in the past," he said, alluding to claims that Hezbollah control or have influence at the port. Your response?
My response, Becky, is we were in a good situation. Now we have a total utter, and I mean utter financial collapse, a total utter economic collapse. This symbiotic relationship has led us to where we are. And the question is this the last one? I mean, I'm having sleepless nights overthinking about it. So to me, I believe that in life there has to be credibility. And look where we are now, 15 years, Becky. We were close to take Lebanon from a country to a nation, and where we are today. So I'm not speculating, I'm not accusing anyone, I'm just calling for an international investigative team that comes and expedite the process and shed light to this horrific event.
In a recent interview, you said Lebanon has to maintain its balance. It can either survive and prosper or collapse and fail. Political parties have turned into legions occupying the state. The president does not wish to provoke Hezbollah, and by giving in, he is demeaning the presidency. Can you explain what you meant?
What I meant is Lebanon is based on confessional configuration. We cannot live under a situation today where we are completely under the control to a certain point of Hezbollah. We have a president that believes that Hezbollah is, and I'm not a person who seek a hardline position, but I'm just. My position today is because where we are, is because where the nation is, so, and I believe that there is, like you said, there has to be responsibility, and we are in a situation where everybody is trying to be at best accommodative to Hezbollah's position.
Sir, what are your own political aspirations?
I want to say that I talk to the patriarchs, and I truly support the neutrality of Lebanon. I would add to this that Lebanon has to go from a country to a nation, Becky. But what I mean by that is go from this confessional situation to a true democracy. This is my true aspiration. At the end, it's bigger than all of us. It's about Lebanon. It's about the people. Yes.
Yeah, and I think so. Quite frankly, that really does beg this final question: what is next, sir? What is next for Lebanon? We've had the visit of the French president, who has demanded that there be reform. He says there will be no blank check, and he says he's back on September the 1st to effectively see what's been achieved. What is next?
What is next is this government has to go. It must go now, and from there on we need a neutrality, a government that has a neutral position, and hopefully we take from now on. But also we are in a situation, Becky. We need to mourn the dead. We have 5,000 wounded. I myself, that I'm overtaken by this situation. What happened this week, to me, I have been in politics for 15 years. What happened in the last few months is inconceivable, Becky. So we have to take it one step at a time, and it's overwhelming, as you know, to all of us. And I want to commend you for the report you did. I was watching it. It ended up with, I think, Fayrouz. So I want to commend you with the report you did. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I really want to thank you. And thank you. That's very kind, and we are doing our job, and we will continue to do our jobs. Thank you, sir. Pleasure having you on.